course, usually on a Monday it's Adrian Durham, and he's not in today, so I'm covering for him. And usually next to him it's Darren Gough.
He's
not
either.
in because Ray Parler's covering.
Oh, right.
But we do have now the new Interim Managing Director at Yorkshire County Cricket Club joining us, Darren Gough. Goughy, good afternoon to you.
Well, what a
Goughy.
roller coaster. Good afternoon, guys. What a roller coaster of a weekend and day. My feet have not touched the floor. If I'm going to be honest, it's remarkable. It really, really is. From doing breakfast last Thursday when I last worked on talkSPORT, to 2 lunches, one with Ali and Laura on Friday, to a weekend of non-stop chatting and a new job. What a roller coaster.
Listen, let's try and work backwards and find out exactly what happened in what order. So when did you first get a call asking if you'd be interested?
Well, what many people don't know is, but obviously when all this was going through many months ago, and there was a lot of people going away from the club, the chairman left. The original conversation was in a phone call was, would I think about coming onto the board at Yorkshire County Cricket Club? And at the time was my thought. I'm on the board of the PCA, which I've really enjoyed. I only came onto that this summer. So I was just getting used to that position. And I just said, listen, I don't think it's the right time for me to get involved. There's a lot of things that have got to change at the club. There's a lot of decisions that have got to be made. And there's no way I want to be involved coming in to the cricket club and having to, you know what I mean, be the hatchet man, be the one who has to get rid of certain people. I said that this has been nothing to do with me throughout the years. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, look, probably chat to me after Christmas when you've made the decision which way the club's going to go and how it's going to be run. And then suddenly it changed from that to Friday night when I got a message, and I thought, I better not answer my phone Friday night. I've been at a lunch all day. So I didn't start talking to them till Saturday. And like I say, it's been non-stop talking over the weekend.
Obviously, after playing for Yorkshire for many years, Goughy, it must be a dream come true just to be involved again. And look, there's a lot of hard work to do, but I'm sure you're the right man to get Yorkshire back to where they should be.
Yeah, Ray, you know something, it's been a massive part of my life. Came through desperate to be a footballer, wasn't quite good enough, became a cricketer. I had 2 spells there. I left for my own reasons on the first time. I wasn't happy with the few things that were going on at the higher level and the way I felt I was being treated at that time. I left, went to Essex, had 3 fantastic years there. I came back for 2 years to finish my career, which was a dream, and be captain. And then I'll be honest with you, it's been from a distance, watching from afar, because I've been working. I had such a wonderful job at talkSPORT for many, many years, 13 years I think it is now, and doing the commentary and doing little bits here and there, but never has the right role come up for me to get back into coaching or managing a group of players. I know we have a joke about it here and there. I said I wanted the Barnsley job, but this is not talkSPORT now. This is real life. And I when it first got asked to me this, I thought, wow. I mean, that came because it came such out of the blue. I was like, wow, I'm not so sure. But listen, I had to make a decision pretty quickly. They wanted someone because everything that's happened, the club is basically, after what happened on Friday, which took me by surprise, I will be honest with you, where the club made a call of getting rid of 16 people, which was, like I say, unreal, because I'm friends with a few of the guys who have been on that. You know, I played with some of them many, many years ago at cricket. So that was very hard to take, but that was their decision. I had nothing to do with that decision, and now I can move forward in building it. But on a human level, I mean, on Friday, because like I say, I'm friends with a couple of them, it was such an hard thing to take that. And they're going to be so upset. I mean, I'm upset for them, but obviously, I think it's quite obvious the reasons for the club's decision. I've not had a chance to sit down with the club yet. I've not been up there. I've been told in a phone call, but they're very complex. But the club have tried to make me understand why they felt it was necessary to do it. And when I chat to them later this week, they will probably give me an answer on it.
I'm just trying to think about what you just said. Does that mean talkSPORT was a 13-year stepping stone for you?
Well, it was, and it went rosy until Goldstein come on to drive, and then it was like, get me out of here. I'm a celebrity.
He ruins it for everyone, that Goldstein. Hey, listen, let me ask you, Goughy, because we know, of course, Lord Patel's recently been made the new chairman of the club. How closely are you going to be working with him, and have you spoken to him? Have you had any conversations with him recently?
Well, the weekend, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, I had the first conversation about the board stuff, which, as I said, I'll re-chat to them in the new year. Then over the weekend, I've been chatting with them and a couple of other board members that's left. And that's when they offered me the job. I will get the chance to speak to Lord Patel in person on Wednesday. So I will chat to him and hopefully find out the direction the club want to go in, and give them my thoughts where I'd like the club and which direction I want it to go in. So we'll go from there, and it will be. I mean, engines will be on full on Wednesday, because we've got to try and get a coaching. Get some coaches in place for the start of the season. I know that's not till 3 months away, but you have to go through a process. You can't just appoint. You have to go through the governance. And he's right. Yorkshire has been a fantastic club for me. It really, really has. And Michael Olding said it right there. It's obviously got stuck in a world of professional sport where I think it's all coming to light now, especially in cricket. But we've got to make sure. But education, John Barnes, I've interviewed him many times. I've spoke to him many times personally as well. And you only have to read his book, which is absolutely unbelievable. And education is the way forward. He's always big on that when you speak to him about some of the issues. We have to face these issues, Andy, head on. We have to make positive actions. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that people are going to be looking at. Because we're going to be watched by the sporting world, not just in this country, but around the world. We have to make a difference. I think that's going to be obvious. We have to take everyone at Yorkshire, no matter where they are from, on a journey, engage them, listen to them. And I know this is such a big job because of that. I really, really do. But we do need to rebuild. I think that's quite obvious. We need to rebuild a culture and make Yorkshire County Cricket Club a better, more inclusive place, Andy. Yeah. I think that's what it comes down to. I think it's quite obvious that's what I see as the vision for the club at this moment in time.
One of the big problems you've got, of course, amid the Azim Rafiq's racism scandal, is the fact that Yorkshire lost lots and lots of sponsors. How are you going to approach that issue, Goughy? Mm-hmm.
Well, I think as Interim Managing Director, I think that'll be one of my roles, to meet people. I've just talked about the vision for the club, including people in our discussions, making a difference in the pathway and getting people being able to access coaching free. I've done a similar thing for a charity I've done, Sir Stanley Matthews charity. And we help with a pathway and underprivileged children getting into cricket within Yorkshire. So it's a very similar thing. And we talk about the lack of South Asians coming through within Yorkshire from the pathway to make it into a professional game. I think that is where we've got to start. That is as I've said to you, is such an important role for someone to take on and make sure we get it right and take us in a different direction to where we've been at. And I think I honestly do believe, but there'll be counties out there in 10 years that follow what Yorkshire have done. That's what I'm hoping for, and I hope I can make a difference. It's not going to be easy. I might make mistakes, but you've got to learn from your mistakes, and communication is going to be the biggest thing. And I'm normally good at that. I think I've got better in it as I've got older. But one thing I have got, which I probably didn't have when I was growing up and as a cricketer, was empathy. I think from being out of the game and being out of a dressing room environment for 14 years and being in a real job, well, you can call it a real job at talkSPORT, I think that has helped me in my education. I'm moving on to the next level.
Have you spoken to Azim since you've taken over, Goughy?
No, not since I've taken over, not at all. I've not had a chance to speak to anyone. I'm sure he'll want to chat to me at some point, and I will chat to him. As I've said to you in the past when I've been on radio, I try not to talk too much to him about what was going on. I rang him purely as a friend originally and someone I care about, because I gave him his debut many years ago, which I've talked about on air. And I think it was more, from my point of view, is the mental health and what it was doing to him as an individual. And it's same for a lot of other people that have been involved in this. And the person I will make sure they're okay. Everybody that's been involved in these situations. I've already spoke to a couple of the guys who sadly lost their jobs on Friday, and because that wasn't an easy situation for anybody.
Okay. Well, listen, Goughy, one of the things when I was told by the gaffer, when I was told that you weren't coming back, one of my biggest concerns was that I wouldn't hear one of the worst jingles ever made on radio ever again. But then my producer said, we'll still have time for Goughy's at the Crease when you get Goughy on the show. So are you okay? One last time, can we hit the button?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Let's do it.
Catch it! Coming onto the crease, talkSPORT, Darren Gough. Onto the crease, Darren Gough. How's that? Strap yourself in, chaps. It's now time for Goughy's at the Crease. Bowled in.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what time to get Darren Gough on. Are we paying for this, or is this still part of your talkSPORT contract? I'm guessing your prices have gone up, haven't they, since you've become the MD at Yorkshire?
Well, it's a day rate, isn't it? I won't get paid for today. I'm doing this purely out of the goodness of my heart.
Oh, how nice is it? You hear that, everyone in accounts? This is a freebie.